Alright gamblers, welcome back. NRL Round 22. Before we get into that, let's recap Round 21. Now, it was a rough week for us. We did say going into this week, my best advice for this week is just not to bet at all. Take your money and go home. This is not the week to gamble. It was a very tough week. In saying that though, this is what we do. So we went ahead and we placed bets. We didn't really want to, but we did. We got the win over here with the Dragons. We had a good start. Dragons won for us. Got us half a unit profit there. However, the Warriors did win, so we got that tick on the parlay. They didn't get their 13 plus, so our best value bet didn't cash, unfortunately. Lucky just to get the win. They were part of our parlay, so we got that, but the Storm lost, so our parlay also lost. Same with the Titans here. Titans head to head, that one lost. So the Dragons won, Titans lost, so our parlay also lost. The only saving grace here was we did have the head-to-head on the Dragons, so that did cash. And we also had 0.2 of a unit here on the Newcastle Knights, which surprisingly cashed for us, so we got half a unit back there. Saved us a little bit. I think we still went down by about 2 units here on the boys. Maybe a unit and a half, 2 units, I'm not sure. But that's just the power of sprinkling on these big underdogs. And there's a lot of big underdogs this week, so we'll be doing the same thing again. Overall, our tips, we got this one right. We got that one wrong, we got that one wrong. Like I said, it was a tough week. It was good to see the Roosters cash though. Oh, win. Alright. The women, we didn't fare much better over here on the women. We did get the first parlay. The Knights and Titans both won for us. The Broncos, I realistically didn't, they're the dogs. It was more of a heart bet. We went for it. You never know. It was round 1. We haven't seen the teams. A lot of movement in the off-season. We didn't know what was going on. Like again, bad week to bet. Shouldn't have bet. We did. And with the Tigers beating the Eels. And so we'll definitely shade the Eels next week, no matter who they play. They didn't look that great. Every other team looked good. Every team looked good. It's going to be so hard to pick teams this week. We'll have to wait and see what the lineup is. There was no games up at the TAB. But again, I think we lost about a unit here on the girls. But all that was swept under the rug. The UFC. Sorry, I don't have the London slide anymore. I changed it for this week. My bad. What a card we have coming up. UFC 291 looks absolutely phenomenal. It might be the first pay-per-view this year I actually pay. Now, I said the London card, there was nothing that interested me. I'm just going to copy Angelo's bets. And that $10 a month came in for me. We cashed 4 out of 4 bets there. The safety parlay also hit. So everything we lost in the NRL, we made back lazily with the UFC because of this, because of Angelo's picks. I just copied his picks. I didn't even pay attention. In fact, I stayed up to 2 o'clock in the morning watching the NRL. That by the time I woke up in the morning, the UFC was over, and I went to have a look to see what time the UFC started, and it was all over, and the money was in my account. I was like, damn it. I was like, yay, pay, but I missed the card. I went back and watched it, but it's just not the same, is it? Anyway, moving on. This week, NRL Round 22, Thursday night game. We've got the Broncos versus the Roosters. Both teams coming off a win here. Broncos, let's get a blue out. Broncos here, 36-20 over the Rabbits, very impressive. Roosters, thank goodness, they got a win over the Titans, and they look good too. They look good. Now, they're beating a few middle-class teams here. We've got the Broncos currently in 2nd place. The Roosters in 12th place with their top 8 still in hope. Can they, if they lose this game, can they still make the top 8? Maybe. But they're in the same boat here as the Sharks. The Roosters need to win this game to show that they're still a contention, not only for the top 8, but they can beat the top sides. So I'm hoping they come out to prove a point. I'm hoping this is the rise from the dead Roosters, come back and beat the Broncos. That's what we're hoping. We are going for the Roosters this week. Yep, that's all. Like a lot of underdogs this week. Do we expect all of them to win? No, they don't all have to win. Just 1 or 2 and we'll be good. Next up, speaking of underdogs, we've got hang on, so we've got the odds down here. Now the TAB is paying more money for the 1 to 12 than they are for the 13 plus, so they're expecting the Broncos to blitz the Roosters. And with the Roosters low scoring, fair enough, you know. So we'll just have to wait and see. We're going Roosters anyway. Next up, we've got Tigers versus Rabbits. So speaking of underdogs, Tigers here, $7.80. That's worth chucking some change on, okay? Tigers, 18-4 loss to the Dragons. So they are still trying to win games, although that was the wooden spoon game. So maybe they were just picking it up for that game to try and avoid the wooden spoon. They failed to do that. I don't know what kind of motivation they're going to have going into this game. Now, the Rabbits obviously lost 20-36 to the Broncos. They're now in 9th place, with the point difference very close. So we're expecting Flaming Hot Bunnies looking to pour on the points, not only get the 2 points, but to get up on that points difference. So I'm expecting the Rabbits just to slaughter the Tigers. No news yet. We don't know if Latrell's going to be back for this game or not. Like, he should be back by now. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. We'll update this on the Thursday before the first game, and we'll have all the news stories attached in here. Rabbits obviously not paying any money. 1-12 might be worth a punt because the Tigers, you know, they do have some defense. But honestly, if you're going to bet on this one, just go for the try scorers. If you believe the Rabbits are just going to run wild, go for a few try scorers. Put a few doubles down. That sort of stuff. That would be my advice for this game. They're not worth it. $1.08. They're not worth putting in a parlay. Maybe give them a point start deficit. You know, would have to look at the odds once those drop. But for now, yeah, all in Rabbits try scorers. I will be sprinkling some money here on the Tigers. Just because you never know. You know, they beat the Panthers. If they can beat the Panthers, they can beat anybody. So you never know. At $7.80, it's worth putting $1 or $2 on them. Alright, next up, we've got the Storm versus the Eagles. This is our Friday night game. There was right there. Storm 4th place against the Eels 8th place. Eels are playing for a spot in the top 8 basically here. If they lose this, chances are they'll be knocked out of the top 8. Storm, embarrassing loss to the Knights there, and the Eels went down to the Cowboys. So both teams coming off a loss. Are the Storm safe at 4th place? Probably not. This is probably the only year with like 5 games left, Storm in 4th place, not safe. So we'll just have to wait and see how this one goes out. I think it's going to be a tough game. Storm are the favourites, but with Gufferson and I wouldn't bet against the Eels. No news yet. We'll come back on Thursday, see if anything's changed there. Let's move on. Raiders against Newcastle. Now here we go. Raiders field goal loss to the Warriors. You know, haha. Go to the Warriors. Warriors got the bye this week. And the Newcastle Knights coming off their shock win over the Storm. Okay, they beat the Storm. Storm might be having a big comeback, you know, trying to prove that they're better than that. But whatever. So Knights knocked off the Storm. That's really impressive. Raiders 5th place. Raiders 10. So I think the Newcastle Knights are all in here. I think that win over the Storm is going to rejuvenate them. I think that they're going to be gunning for a top 8 spot. And I think they're going to take it. So and they are the underdogs here. And they are my dog of the week. Let's just give that away right now. Dog of the week, Newcastle Knights. I feel they have a great chance of beating the Raiders here. And at that price, we're going all in on them. We're going to put a unit down on the Knights. It is what it is. We may even sprinkle on this 13 plus. Who knows? I do expect these to all come down. So if you want those price tags, I would get in quick on those. Yeah, Newcastle Knights, dog of the week. No news yet. We'll come back on Thursday. Check on that one. Next game, St. George versus the Eagles. Dragons did win the wooden spoon battle, but like I said, there's nothing really to be proud of there. You know. So the 15th place, their season's over. The Eagles managed to hang on there and got the win over the Sharks. Very good Eagles. And, you know, the Sharks only lose to top 8 teams. So is that a prophecy? Is that letting us know that the Eagles are going to make the top 8? They're currently in 11th place. So, like, again, they're going to be coming out hungry. I think they're going to, you know, be super keen to win this game. They've got something to play for. And Dragons don't. Also, paying $1.80 here. Eagles are my value bet for the week. $1.84 for the Eagles to beat the Dragons. I'll take that any day of the year. Any day of the year. Let's move on. Let's just move on. Alright, next up we have the Sharks against the Panthers. Now the Sharks had a last minute scoring frenzy. Wasn't enough to beat the Eagles though, they still lost. Meanwhile, the Panthers demolished the Bulldogs 44-18. They look like a third-time champion run, right? The Sharks struggle with top sides. The Panthers are in first place. Now, again, this is, like I said with the Roosters. The Roosters need to beat the Broncos to prove that they are a genuine threat. I think the Sharks need to beat the Panthers here to prove that they deserve to be in the top 8. I don't know if they can do it. Now, we do have highlighted down here, Panthers 1-12, paying $3.30. And we're just pointing out that the Panthers did fall off in the last 10 minutes against the Bulldogs. Those 18 points here from the Bulldogs all came at the end of the game. And the Sharks frenzy in the last 10 minutes against the Eagles. So, you know, I'm just saying. It's just a possibility. I'm not betting on that though. But, you know, there might be something there. Panthers might get out to a good start coasting. Panthers come back at the end and have a repeat of last week. But you know what they say, only a fool's general tries to win the war that they fought last. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, no news here, but we still got this Luai news coming out that the Panthers seem to be trying to kick Luai out the door. Well, they want Luai to stay, but they're not going to pay Luai the big money anymore. They're giving Luai a pay cut, and, you know, fair enough. Honestly, I think he's had like 10 hit-ups the whole year. You'd see him with the ball, and the Bulldogs wouldn't even try and tackle him because they just knew he was going to pass it. He's the pass boy, and it would be very interesting to see if Luai does go to a different team, how he performs on a different team. I don't know if he's being carried or he's just coasting at the Panthers at the moment. I'd love to see him go to the Tigers and see what he can do. Prove that you're the $1 million man that you say you are, and help the Tigers, you know, have a better season next year. Anyway, we'll see how this story develops. The division in the team, you know, is never good. The Sharks are the massive underdogs here, paying $5.15. You know me. I'm a sucker for a big price tag. I can't resist that. So we're going to be going in on the Sharks here. But Panthers, probably $1.15, so they may even be worth putting in your parlays too. Let's carry on. We've got Bulldogs here against the Dolphins. Now, obviously, Bulldogs got flogged by the Panthers, 44-18. But they did have a freshly shuffled pack of cards. Do you know what I mean? They were trying out new things. They had players in odd positions, new players, all this sort of stuff. So we'll see how that. I think it's like they played the game on hard, and now they get to go back and play the game on medium. And so I think they're going to do a lot better this week if they stick to those changes. If they muddle everything up again, it's like starting again. I hope they keep that same team and they come back. Because they could look at it like, well, it took us a while to figure it out, and we got wasted. We're playing against the number 1 team. But once we had our team figured out, we came back. So, you know, we didn't lose that game. We just ran out of time. That could be the way they look at it. Alright, anyway, so 16th place Bulldogs. I'm pretty sure their season's over. Right, but they're trying out new things. They want to get this new combination sorted. They want their fans to know that they're a good chance next year. And they were plagued with injuries all season. Like, they were the worst injured team all season. So if they can finish strong, it'll give their fans something to come back for next year. Against the 13th place Dolphins. And it's weird because the Dolphins are in the same place as the Roosters, yet everyone's going, Roosters can still make the top 8. Let's see if the Dolphins are right there as well. They could still make the top 8 too. Technically, it's just no one's giving them any hope. So if they win this game, it could relight their hopes for the top 8. All that being said, Bulldogs are a big underdog here. Well, I mean, they are a big underdog, right? $2.35, that's a decent-sized underdog. That's worth punting on. It's just, this week, there's so many other bigger underdogs, it doesn't even seem like that. But I do expect these prices to downfall. I expect these lines to tighten. I think a lot of people will take the Dogs on that price tag to beat the Dolphins. I mean, I will. No real news. However, their main duty didn't play against the Panthers. He was sick apparently. So we'll see if he's back in the team or not. Hopefully we find out by the time Thursday rolls around. Last game of the week, Sunday night game. We've got the Gold Coast Titans here against the Cowboys. One of the safer games this week, I believe. Titans lost to the Roosters. Good on you, Roosters. Eels 24-16. Cowboys over the Eels 24-16 as they continue their march to the finals. I believe it's an 8-win game streak. Don't quite quote me on that, but I believe it's somewhere around 8 games. They haven't lost since round 13. Okay, there was a bye in there, but still they haven't lost since round 13. Cowboys are just absolutely on fire. 14th place Titans, nothing really to play for anymore. Against the 7th place Cowboys, they're in that top 8. They want to concrete themselves into that top 8. I don't see the Titans derailing them. Again, no news yet. We'll have to wait to see what happens on Thursday. You can see here the Cowboys are paying more money for 1 to 12 than they are for 13 plus. So it means the TAB is expecting a blowout. Maybe go for some try scorers. Maybe go for the over. We'll have to wait for all those things to drop. I usually don't bet on those sort of things, but the money's going to be there. I'd definitely say go for the over on this game. Go for a couple try scorers. Why not? And put the Cowboys in your parlay. Why not? That's my thoughts on it. We have had the Titans as our dog of the week a few times before, but the Cowboys, they have to run out of steam and puff somewhere. I believe they will lose a game in between here and the finals. It would be good for them to drop a game, let all that pressure go, and just reset before the finals. But probably not this one. We'll see how I don't know what the run to the top 8, run to the finals is. Anyway, let's just recap. Let's round up. So round 22, a lot of big dogs. But our dog of the week is the Newcastle Knights. I feel like they should even be favourites here to beat the Raiders. So we're going all in on the Newcastle Knights here to beat the Raiders. I'm just not liking the Raiders this week. And having this, and this I had a home game too. So when I'm watching the game and the whole crowd does that stupid, it just makes me hate them even more. So go the Knights. Safety parlay this week, we do have the, I was thinking Eagles, definitely the Storm here in the safety parlay, and the Cowboys here in the safety parlay. That will be our safety parlay. I was thinking the Eagles too, but we're going to have the Eagles down here as our value bet. Maybe put all 3 of them in the safety parlay. I'm not too sure. I'm going with Cowboys Storm. They're both paying decent money here to parlay up. You can put the Panthers in there if you want a little bit of extra value. Yeah, that's it. Maybe you could put Broncos in there. Like, I'm a Roosters fan. I'm going to be going for the Roosters. I haven't been cheering. It's been a while since I've had a good cheer for them, so we'll be doing that. We're going to be putting 0.4 of a unit here on the Roosters, and we're going to be putting that 0.1 of a unit here on the Tigers, because you never know. Why not? And then the other 0.5 of a unit over here on the Sharks, because I'm hoping this is it. They've been labelled as the bottom feeders, that they can only beat the bottom teams. I'm hoping that's making them angry, and I'm hoping they come out and just prove that they are a top 8 side, and that they're good, and they've got good players. And Nico, you need to, this is it. It's D-Day for the Sharks, I feel. If they lose this game, they're probably going to get knocked out of the top 8. Maybe not this week, but it doesn't look good for them. So I'm hoping D-Day for the Sharks, D-Day for the Roosters. Panthers and Broncos are 2 very tough teams, and I'm hoping they both come out and smash them. Now, if you don't like betting on the underdogs like that, right? These are my recommended bets down here. These are my recommended bets. Newcastle Eagles, okay? If you want to parlay, I'll do Storm Cowboys, maybe Eagles in my parlay. That being said, I'm chasing these big underdogs this week. I'm going with these big underdogs this week. That's what I'm doing. That's what I like to do. It's buying entertainment. It's essentially what I'm doing is just buying entertainment, okay? Because that's going to make me cheer for these teams. It's going to make the games better for me. I don't realistically expect to see that money again. That unit is gone. I spent it on the weekend. Okay, it's like buying a box of beer. The money's gone. You're not getting that money back. Now maybe that box of beer has a little competition. You sign that competition. You don't expect to win, but you just do it anyway, in the hope. If you're not like that, if you don't want to do that, maybe parlay the three teams I bet against here. Maybe go with the Broncos, the Rabbits, and the Panthers. Put those three in a parlay. Would it make the 150? Yeah, it would. It would go over the 150. It's worth it if you want to go for the favourites. That's not a bad parlay. It's probably what I should do, but I won't because I'm a crazy son of a gun. All that being said, these are the early bets. I've already placed these bets. All these bets I talked about, these underdog bets have been placed. I've got to book them in. I want to get those good odds. Odds might go up. Odds might go down. I don't know. I like those odds. I put my bets down. All these recommended bets over here, I put all these bets down early. I won't. If I say I'm doing it, it's already been done. Okay? So if I say Newcastle Knights my dog of the week, the bet's already been placed. That being said, it's Monday. It's early Monday. We've got a whole week of news cycle to come out. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. Anything could happen in between now and then. The girls' games haven't been released yet. I'm not too sure on, we're going to be following Angelo's bets on the UFC again. So we've got a whole week. So come back on Thursday. We'll re-go over these bets. I'll let you know what I'm doing with the girls. NRL, it's going to be a tough week with the girls. The girls, oh man, they were all good. And I just don't know. I should have got some pictures. of the girls. We'll talk more about that on Thursday. All I can say is if you didn't watch the girl games, I don't know what's wrong with you, man. I fell in love about 20 times over the weekend. So many gorgeous girls, and they're all fit. And god damn, how is that not the number one sport in the world? I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Anyway, we'll cover more on that. We'll cover the UFC. What a card we got coming up with the UFC. Look at this. Derek Lewis, Stephen Thompson, Kevin Holland, Alex Pereira's in there, Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler. Just Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje. What a card. What an awesome card. Hopefully we can make, we want picks usually does better. I know I'm rambling. I don't care. We've gone so long. Let's go a little bit longer. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Right? It should be a good weekend of rugby league. We should make some money here. I think we've got way better bets than we did last week. We've still got the news cycle to come through. We'll put more bets down on Thursday. We'll go over the women's game. We'll go over the UFC. God damn it, guys. We're going to make some money, okay? Warriors got the bye. Warriors in the top 8, top 4. Looking good. I mean, it's a good time to be alive, right? It's a good time not to be homeless. It's a good time not to be at war. It's a good time to have 2 legs. Let's just be thankful here, guys. Let's watch this stuff. Let's laugh at the women's soccer for a little bit, and let's just enjoy being league fans. That's it from me. Thank you all for anyone who's actually made it to the end of this video. Thank you very much. Give me a thumbs up. We don't get much feedback from you guys. I understand that my videos are just whiteboard. It's like being back in a classroom. No frills here. But we will give you the information. We will give you the stats. We will give you as much help and advice as we can. That's all I got to say, guys. Good luck out there. Bet responsible. All that good stuff. See you on Thursday.